Today, we are recapping Galaxy Quest, one of the most underrated comedies of the 90s. Here's the plot. In the 1980s, Galaxy Quest was a beloved sci-fi TV series that followed the heroic crew of the NSEA Protector as they explored the galaxy and fought evil. Decades later, the show is long canceled, but the cast is still around, mostly making a living off fan conventions and nostalgic appearances. Jason Nesmith, played by Tim Allen, was the show's fearless Captain Taggart. He's still relishing the attention from fans and soaking up the fame. Meanwhile, his former co-stars are far less enthusiastic. Gwen DeMarco, played by Sigourney Weaver, who played the ship's communications officer, is frustrated that her main job was to repeat what the computer said. Alexander Dane, played by Alan Rickman, a serious British actor stuck with an alien prosthetic head and a cheesy catchphrase. Fred Kwan, played by Tony Shalhoub, the laid-back tech officer. Tommy Weber, played by Daryl Mitchell, who piloted the ship as a teenager but now feels like he peaked too soon. And Guy Fleegman, played by Sam Rockwell, who only appeared once, as a red shirt extra who died early in an episode. He now hosts conventions but lives in constant fear of being expendable again. There's tension among the crew, especially because Jason still plays the overconfident leader, even off-screen. The others can't stand his ego, and they're all a little embarrassed by how far they've fallen. After a heated backstage moment at a convention, Jason is approached by a group of odd, soft-spoken people who call themselves Thermians. They request his help with a mission. Jason assumes it's just a paid gig, maybe a fan video or a commercial, so he agrees and gives them his address. The next morning, the Thermians arrive in a sleek limo-like craft and whisk Jason away. Still hungover, he doesn't realize they've transported him into space via teleportation. Suddenly, he finds himself aboard what looks exactly like the NSEA Protector. Except it's all real. Jason is introduced to Mathasar, the Thermians' leader, and learns that their species intercepted TV signals of Galaxy Quest decades ago. Not understanding the concept of fiction, they believed the show was a real documentation of Earth's historical heroes. They've built working versions of everything on the show, including the ship, based on the historical documents. The Thermians are being hunted by Ceres, a sadistic warlord alien who demands the Omega-13 device, an advanced but mysterious piece of tech mentioned only once on the show. Nobody ever explained what Omega-13 does, but Ceres believes it's a weapon. Jason, still under the impression that he's on a highly immersive set, gives bold, vague, captain-like commands. To his surprise, the crew actually follows them, resulting in Ceres temporarily being driven off. After the mission, the Thermians send Jason back to Earth. Back home, Jason starts to piece it together. The aliens were real, the ship was real, and he just accidentally led a real space battle. He rushes to tell the rest of the cast. Initially skeptical, the actors eventually agree to join him, especially when another Thermian, Laliari, arrives to request their help again. They're all transported aboard the Protector, and reality hits hard. Their fictional world has come to life. Even Guy, the one episode extra, tags along, but he's terrified he'll die again, like his character did in the show. The cast now finds themselves in roles they haven't played for years. But this time, the stakes are real. They have to quickly relearn how to be their characters. Gwen discovers that her job is still just repeating the computer, much to her dismay. Tommy, once a child actor, now has to actually pilot the ship, struggling to match his past performances. Alexander, ever the professional, starts mentoring a real alien who idolizes his fictional character, Dr. Lazarus. The bond becomes deeply meaningful, but things turn dangerous fast. Ceres returns, angrier than ever, and attacks the Protector. The ship escapes through a hazardous magnetic minefield, but their power source, the beryllium sphere, is damaged beyond repair. To fix the ship, the crew travels to a nearby alien planet in search of a replacement sphere. There, they encounter hostile, childlike aliens who initially seem harmless, but quickly turn vicious. Jason gets stranded on the planet and is attacked by a massive rock creature. In a moment of vulnerability, he calls Brandon, a teenage Galaxy Quest superfan back on Earth, asking for help. Brandon and his friends, who have obsessively studied every episode, provide detailed schematics that help Jason survive until he's rescued. Returning to the ship, the crew finds it under Ceres's control. They're captured, and Jason is forced to admit the truth to Mathesar, that they're just actors and the show was all fake. Heartbroken, Mathesar loses his faith. Saris sets the ship to self-destruct and leaves the crew to die. Desperate, Jason and Gwen contact Brandon again. With his help, they navigate through the ship and abort the self-destruct countdown, literally at the last second. Meanwhile, Alexander inspires the Thermians to stand up and fight back. Together, they retake the Protector. The crew then uses their knowledge of the show and real teamwork to lure Saris's ship back into the magnetic minefield. It's obliterated in a spectacular explosion. Just when they think they've won, Saris boards the Protector in one last surprise attack. He opens fire on the bridge, wounding several crew members. Jason finally activates the Omega-13, and its power is revealed. It sends time backward by 13 seconds. It's just enough to undo the ambush, and Jason and Mathesar are able to disarm Saris before the damage is done. The bridge of the Protector detaches and crash lands in the middle of a packed Galaxy Quest convention on Earth. The stunned crowd erupts in applause, assuming it's all part of an elaborate performance. Saris, somehow still alive, rises once again to attack. Jason casually vaporizes him with a blaster. Fans cheer, thinking it's special effects. The entire cast is celebrated like true heroes. Their once embarrassing show is now legendary, for real. The final scene shows a rebooted version of Galaxy Quest airing, with the original cast, plus Guy and Laliari, returning for brand new adventures. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe below and check out more of my movie recaps.